Okay, great.
Rivalry game.
All right. So, yeah, I'll take those. And yeah, let's take a look at this injury report for Oregon State. See if anybody is nobody Washington State's hurt. That's a good thing. Right. I can close that. I can close that. All right. Ooh. Okay. Oregon State.
That's one. League1. We got 75 and 70.
So probably likely that Walker is a backup, the right guard,
And Park.
and might not be. That's a bubble guy, but he would definitely be a starter, I think. So that's pretty important. Oregon State, that is a really good quarterback, reasonably quick. Excuse me.
93 accuracy.
Yeah. Not crazy amount of power, but more than enough power with that accuracy. 88 power.
Big boy.
That is a... He is really, really fast for 212 pounds.
99 acceleration. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That'd be shifty with 90 break tackle. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thank God he's only got 82 elusive. That's still pretty good.
Yeah. Gang tackling, it's going to have to be.
Can catch, does he? So he's getting 100 yards a game.
100 yards.
He's a candidate for one of the running back awards.
14, 15 yards a game. Not a huge part of their offense.
Not in the air, but on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground. Yeah. Passing to the halfback, I mean, is not doesn't seem to be a huge part of their offense. That's a pretty good fullback. They might use him, they might not. We never know. Yep. Okay. Yep. And and a tight end. Yep.
So the Wizards run the ball and they throw their tight end.
You've seen that before somewhere.
There's also Parks as a senior as a starter.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a.
Senior.
He's a senior. Yeah. So that's not really a drop off there.
They should have a good team.
Yeah, they're gonna be solid. He's on a hot streak.
Yeah, they're good to go on the line.
Yeah, it's a solid line there. Fairly. Ooh. Yeah, their defensive line not nearly as good as their offensive line.
Certainly at the end position, I'd be okay with it if you want to do tackle.
Yeah.
They may not be.
It depends on whether or not they use two.
Impact.
And that's a big drop there. And he's playing out of position, so he's got a terrible awareness. Yes.
Better coverage, but he's corner.
Yeah.
Corner to free safety, but he's better than corner to strong safety.
Yeah.
Strong safety plays the run a lot more. They play about 4 plays up to the line of scrimmage.
Good punter, not great kicker. Okay
But
kicker.
not horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
you should be able to make it from
Yeah,
27
yeah.
or 30.
Yeah, they don't have a bad kicker.
They don't have a boomer. They're a good team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You have a coaching perk to spend.
thank
You never wanna leave those unspent.
you. 0 is the second
especially the coordinator ones, because those, always really good.
There goes the pass rush. Go Coos.
All right.
That's what we needed.
Hey, every little bit helps,
No, absolutely.
Es-
The other team is like, oh, great.
especially against their line. Afternoon, Leon.
What's up, Leon?
Spectre says hello.
So, times and it was like going for drumbeat. Usually after they score, or after I get my first down, so just kind of set me on my way.
Okay.
Spectre's a new playbook.
New playbook. All right, interesting. So apparently we have a new playbook here from Washington State. Developing things a little. Always important to have forward progress in your playbook. Learning new things. It's the key to not getting stagnant and not losing games. If your playbook contracts, you will eventually run into something where it doesn't work and you don't have any other weapons, and that is bad.
A lot of the old, but that's what we're going to do. It was time to go ahead and just move things around and reset everything.
Sure. All right. Looking at a solid middle of the pack Oregon State there. A lot of rankings in the 50s and 40s. Out of 120 teams, that's still pretty good, but it's not quite where Washington State is.
Lamar has the ball set how he wants it, and we're just about ready to kick this game off, folks. Excellent kick. Tackle at the 12.
But that's just great kickoff coverage right there. And you can see a lot of emotion on the field right now.
The quarterback leads the team out on the field for the first drive. Throws falling back and got his man. He's pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Gain of 8 yards. That makes it 2nd and 2.
We got a 2nd and 2. Ball on their own 20. And he is drilled at the 21.
That's good for a gain of 1 yard. 3rd down.
by the defense. There's nothing like a defense being able to slip off of a block, get into the backfield of the offense, and then make a play in the backfield to be able to create some momentum possibly for this defense.
Waiting the return. Fields it at the 38. He's tackled at the 41.
The Cougars have a lot at stake here, including some possible record-breaking performances. Records and stats are great, but I think to a man, these players say, let's win the game first, and then any accolades we get along with it, that'd be great.
Now the offense gets ready to take their first crack at it. They come out in an empty backfield. Fires out to his receiver. And he's taken down at about the 47-yard line.
That'll make it 2nd and 4.
From their own 47-yard line. 2nd down. He's taken down at the 50-yard line.
Brad, this guy had a huge year last year, but look at him now. I think he even looks bigger than he did a year ago. Look for him to have a huge year.
Number 3 comes in.
3rd and 1 coming up on this play. Ball on the 50. Up the middle for a nice gain. We'll pick up a first down with that run from the halfback.
He got by a couple of defenders and made it to the sticks for the first down.
From the 46-yard line. First down. And the halfback's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, it was a short gain, but a nice tackle there by the junior who stepped up in traffic and made a nice play.
Second and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 46. Throws into coverage, just picked off. And now he's got room to run. He's at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Beavers. So a great play by the defender to give his team 6 points.
That was a very good play, and that will certainly help build his team's momentum.
And he adds the extra point. Reese Davis is standing by with this update. Reese?
Let's get you up to date on some games that could really wreak havoc on the BCS standing. The Aggies have the perfect connection and a touchdown.
Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. Sends it sailing downfield. He's to the 10. He's to the 20. And he's tackled at the 21-yard line. So the offense will come back out onto the field, hoping for a little better result than that last pick 6.
This quarterback needs to be a little bit more careful because this defense is excellent on capitalizing off of mistakes.
Washington State's got a guy behind center that can really do it all, Herbie. I mean, he's a dual threat. He can hurt you with his feet and his arm. With this guy, it's PYP. Pick your poison.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 21. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. He's going to try and scramble. Throws it deep. open man, and it's his wide receiver. Brought down at the 28. And that's the way you're supposed to play pitch and catch.
Absolutely. You know, this wide receiver is a difference.
Vincenzo.
Vincent Vega, our man in Amsterdam.
Time you get him the ball.
So after the big pass play, we've got a first down. Defense goes with the extra defensive backs as the offense comes up 5 wide. He's rolling left. Here comes the pressure. Tackle at the 20. He scrambles there for about 8 yards. Second down, and they're going to need about 3 yards to pick up the first down. Tackle made at the 18-yard line. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry.
That'll bring up 3rd and inches. Vega is in at quarterback.
They'll line up with 5 wide receivers. And a quick throw for 5. And he's tackled at the 1-yard line.
That makes it 1st and goal.
First down. They've got 4 cracks at it inside the 5. It's 1st and goal. He scrambled. Looks left, finding his tailback. And they make the stop around the 4-yard line. That's a loss of 4 yards.
This defense is fast enough that they can create negative yards on completed passes. So the offense might want to consider that next time they try that play.
From the 4-yard line, it's 2nd down. Quick strike, and he drops it.
The intended receiver on the play. That makes it 3rd and goal.
And this play is number 8 on the drive. 5 wide. Looks to a receiver. Touchdown. A nice play as the offense gets it through the air.
Yeah, they've had some success in their short passing game, so they felt confident they can make that play work down inside the 10.
Here comes the kicker to try to tie this game up. And he tacks on the extra point. A nice 8-play, 77-yard drive. And they put up 7 points. We're even at 7 in this one. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. He just drills this one. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. I don't think either team has a clear advantage so far. Let's see if they can make some plays and get a little separation. Good tackle there in space.
Excellent job by this young quarterback of making the defense pay for bringing both outside linebackers. That's composure right there.
From their own 38-yard line, it's 1st down.
after the catch.
Gain 14 yards. That makes it 1st and 10.
Completes it across the middle. To the 10. Touchdown, Oregon State.
This guy just continues to impress me. Every time I watch this team play, he seems to come up with big plays.
Where was the coverage there? There wasn't anybody near him at all. Oregon State with a 6-point lead. And he converts the extra point. It was a quick three-play.
And apparently I've been on mute this whole time.
They add 7 points.
Which, you know, my apologies for that. I feel like a terrible idiot because I've been talking the whole time.
He's to the 10.
Ooh, and despite the pancake, Huff cannot get out of the blockers there.
They got athletes. They got some speed.
I was really impressed with their last series. They came out with a focus on the passing game, and the offense got the job done. We'll see if they have the same strategy here.
He makes it out to maybe the 20-yard line.
Probably short taking the handoff from John McClain there.
From their own 20-yard line. 2nd down. He's out of bounds around the 22-yard line.
Short pass to Jason Voorhees. This is a part of the field on the left short that you don't see a lot of passes to from Washington State, trying to mix it up a bit apparently.
From their own 22-yard line. It's 3rd down. He's got it with room to
As we see Huff come back to get the reception and then manage to get back over the 1st down line.
hang on, everybody, because it looks like they came ready to play today. The Beavers with a touchdown lead.
Do you have a preference?
It's 1st down and 10 now after picking up some great yardage through the air. Throws this one away.
You know, when you feel pressure
Spectre
like that, the
smartly
worst
throwing
thing
it
you wanna do
out of
is
bounds
throw
when
the
his
ball into coverage. He got
line
it
got
right
breached.
there. He's very fortunate. Next time he should just throw it away out of bounds.
Pauly Shore with the longest run of the day of his for 7 yards.
down here. And they've got the dime package in there to try and deal with this 5-receiver look.
And Huff there with the dive.
He's claimed a share of the single-season touchdown reception rate.
He's been their go-to guy when they've needed a score.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for Crimson and Gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and big glory.
83-yard drive, and they get it in for 7. 14 apiece.
Tonight's Pac-12 game brought to you by Arrogant Bastard. You're not good enough.
Lined up to kick this one off. He really got a hold of that kick.
An excellent kick there by
This one's going to be down in the end
by
zone.
Kendrick Lamar to force the touchback as we start another Oregon State possession, tied up. 5 minutes, 49 seconds left in the first half.
You always want to go in the locker room with momentum. So as we get closer to halftime, I think we'll see more and more attempts to create big plays. He's tackled right at the
Good job of the defense there, keeping the running back to 2 yards. Maybe the offense hoping that the big passes would make them move away from the running back, but clearly not.
27-yard line.
Gotta be kidding me. And he saw it coming and still couldn't hear anything about it. Come on. That's ridiculous. They did that the last time we were here. Or they were here.
He scores.
And an incredible, unlikely play from Oregon State.
And just quick, there was nobody. Everybody was down. And we saw it coming right there.
Yeah.
Trying to get over the hole to somebody. They're all falling down.
I mean, I kind of think his hand might have been down there, but you can't call it. You can't, like, it's not worth it.
His hand doesn't count. It's got to be his elbow.
Well, it looked like here,
Yeah.
with the back of his forearm was down, but that's not a thing like that's just nuts.
You don't think we should challenge?
I don't think you should challenge.
What the hell?
Oh, making the challenge.
Wait, challenge? No. That's not, it doesn't say challenge the spot of the ball. It says challenge the touchdown. There's a difference. Definitely scored. It's not the question. The question is whether or not he's down. But that's different. They're trying to trick you right there.
Yep. Making the wise play.
Quick two-play, 75-yard drive, and a touchdown to result.
You always prepare your offense to think that we're going to have some success. These guys got to be coming over the sidelines after touchdown saying, I didn't expect it to be this easy.
So the score now, 21-14. He's to the 10. They'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Well, I'm sure Reese is having fun giving updates from this game to our other games going on today. We've had back-to-back scores.
An uncharacteristically leaky game from Washington State. Minson Vega there waiting until he knew that both guys were going for him to make the pitch.
Left the running back with plenty of room.
Yeah, that's like level 3 stuff.
Making sure Pauly Shore gets those extra yards.
From their own 34-yard line,
first down. He's taken down at the 46-yard line.
Fantastic run there from Pauly Shore as we see Washington State coming out on second and short in a I formation. And a good quarterback keeper there from Vincent Vega for 6 yards on first down.
They come out in an empty backfield.
Yet more mileage out of that drag route for Huff. 107 yards this game total.
First and 10. Ball on the 18. The 10 makes it to the 8.
This long passing game of Washington State's has really opened up the run for them now. 8 yards to pay dirt. 2:40 left to go. Again, that drag route is a money play today.
By the power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe.
So I can read that out to you so you can play your game. My brother's also, so he's playing Pokemon while he watches, and he's saying that he's one-shotting everybody, so he can't capture any wild Pokemon. And that's why you always got to keep a couple of stragglers around that are like 10 levels below what your primary is.
I don't know if anybody's going to step up defensively in this game or not.
3, 2.
The last time we saw this offense on the field, they drove the length of the field. Think back to what that defensive coordinator tried to do. He tried to change some things up, but nothing seemed to work. It's going to be interesting to see how he can have an impact on this drive.
Big opening.
Another big pass to Kirby there.
39-yard line.
He diagnosed the blitz
One moment.
and had time to improvise for the big play. That's the kind of quick thinking you need to succeed as a quarterback.
All right. Well, welcome, Mr. Barker, Mr. Seawack. It's good to see you. Yes, this is a tight game with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first. There was a very early and uncharacteristic pick six by Washington State on a Z spot route, and then since then, there's been some rivalry game plays. The Oregon State is consistently getting passing yard from only Kirby on the right side. They're doing fairly deep out routes to him. But there was also a 80-something yard run by their halfback who got tackled, was lying on top of a Washington State player, got tackled by 4 more guys, and then got up and ran for the touchdown because he wasn't down by contact yet. So, yes, this is definitely a rivalry game. Indeed, Leon. False swipe might be a thing to have as, if you have a dedicated catching Pokemon. And less of a sack and more of a spear to the shins, but it takes Oregon State's quarterback's legs out for the 4th and very long. Not looking for the blitz on 3rd that time. Huff catching the return, but not getting a whole lot of distance. And now Washington State with 1:17 from their own 20. And 2 timeouts. Yep.
Good job here by the defense. If you let this quarterback set and throw, he'll kill you all game. But they got excellent pressure on that play.
Oh. And there we go. George Huff, again, another 9 yards from the drag. I think maybe half of his yardage is from that, and both touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on drag, 1 of them on a slant. So, if I may ask, Leon, did you choose correctly or incorrectly for your starter? Because there's a right answer.
First and 10. Ball on their own 34. Scrambling around. He wants it all. And a great catch. Inside the 30. Spectacular.
Vincent Vega with the 60-yard bomb to Alan Rickman. 46 seconds left to go. Well within field goal range, but I don't think that's what Washington State's thinking about with 1st and goal in 46 seconds. However, the clock is moving as he did not get out of bounds.
So after After the big pass play, we have a first and goal.
All right. Yes, you did make the correct decision there, Leon, as apparently was the run out of the shotgun for Pauly Shore. 24 scored at 24 seconds. 5 plays, 80 yards, 58 seconds. Giving Oregon State the ball with 24 seconds left to go.
You can throw the football as well as these guys can. You don't necessarily always have to balance the pass because you're so proficient in throwing the ball.
He just drills this one. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
I'll be very interested to see what Game Freak does with the rumored Pokemon for the Switch. I feel like they've learned, or at least Nintendo learned a lot from the recent Zelda and from Pokemon Go and from all of these things, that I think it could be a very different game. First incompletion of the day there for Oregon State. 21 seconds left to go. Second and 10. And with good team tackling there, third and 11. And it doesn't look like either team is electing to stop the clock. Yep, and so now we will head into the half, 28-21. And that is a rivalry game, ladies and gentlemen. That is what happens. And it is the first of a double header of rivalry games, as later you will see Michigan State at Penn State, another rivalry game. The battle for the Land Grant Trophy, indeed. And also, very importantly, the battle for the number 4, I think, tight end prospect in the country, who is visiting Penn State this weekend. Yeah, Derrick Henry, and I want that guy very, very badly. Huff, interestingly, takes it out of all the way at the back of the end zone and has a great return to get it to the 50. Calling clipping. Losing 40 yards of field position from that. That is a painful penalty. That it's one of the penalties that you can't do anything about because it's something done by the players off the ball.
Washington State is up by a touchdown. He's on the run. Fires up to his receiver. They'll bring him down right around the
With another fantastic play there. By
Vincent Vega, our man in Amsterdam.
He's shaking off the earlier interception.
yeah, Coach thinks that his that Vincent Vega might have shaken off that earlier interception by now with the at least two 60-yard passes. And Antonio Vivaldi there with the 8-yard reception. If I can ask my audience a quick favor, if anybody sees the result of Maryland, I think Maryland versus Rutgers today, please do let me know. That is very important to me. Ooh, and Vincent Vega takes a hard hit trying to get outside the corner on the quarterback keeper rather than going for the slide.
3 or 4 more pixels would have been tucked him outside of him. But instead, it looked like me.
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 17-yard line. The sub package in there defensively. And this 5-wide receiver set.
And Huff with a diving touchdown.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for crimson and gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and victory.
Quick update now. Here's Reese.
A real battle going down in Boise. And for Boise State, we might have an upset.
That would be very good as well.
Porter's arm is working its magic. He's thrown a touchdown pass in this one. New Mexico leads it 14-10. Middle of the third quarter.
Well, if that score holds up, that would be water cooler.
All right, 35-21 now, Washington State.
He kicks it off, and he got all of that one.
Should have quite a bit of momentum, although it's always has a dip in momentum in halftime. But we'll see what Oregon State comes out with in the second half.
There's got to be some sense of urgency to this offense right now. They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back in the game. Gets out to about the 21. We've got a 2nd and 9 here. Ball on the 21-yard line. And they make the stop right around the 22-yard line.
Washington State doing a good job keeping that very, very hot halfback to consecutive 1-yard gains. Get the 3rd and long. And an excellent read on the screen to go for the 3 and out.
Is back awaiting the punt. He puts it away, and it's a great kick. Takes it to 33, tries to get around the corner. And he makes it out to about the 44-yard line. Flags are down, and this one might be on the offense.
It's fine, I'll take the passing yards.
Well, if you want to ruin a drive, just grab a hold of a defender's jersey.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on their own 38. There are 5 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. And down he goes. The 44-yard line.
And we see George Huff breaking Washington State's receiving yards in a season record. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a snafu with these in NCAA. When you play in an online dynasty, it doesn't overwrite the records when you break them. So he can break it again next season at the same distance, no matter how much more Huff gets over the rest of this season, and he'll probably get quite a lot. Those records are never going to change. Which is a little bit of a thing you can use to intentionally grind for some XP. But, you know, it's fact of the game. Everybody can do it, so there's really nothing we can do about it.
They come out in a 5-wide set.
Go to the school that has low records.
Yeah. And Voorhees there holding on to that catch into coverage. Little teeny tiny hole.
It's first down. They'll be looking for 6 points here. He scrambled.
Different coverage on that.
Tackle made at the 5. The play fake good for only a couple.
And then we're gonna call it whatever we got left.
From the 5-yard line. It's second down. They'll spread the field here. Let's see what the defense does with a 5-wide outlook. Touchdown.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
Nobody in the Pac-12 knows that he's the master of the universe.
So a 5-play, 61-yard drive, and it results in a touchdown.
Amazing drive for this offense. Outstanding execution. If you're the defense, you've got to do something to try to change things up. Get this quarterback outside.
The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off.
This is the best game of the year. And he threw a pick
And
6
goes
to
into
start.
the end zone, down for a touchback. The Beavers are just falling apart in this quarter. I mean, are there any positives you can even use to motivate the team right now?
Well, as bad as it is,
I'm not going for any stats or anything. I'm just, I think if anything, I'd like to get Pauly his only 100-yard rushing game of the season. Because he's close, and he's had a great game.
Resulted in a punt, so let's see if they can put together something a little more promising here.
You got almost 8 minutes.
to step up and capitalize on this possession. You know, the quarterback's very fortunate that his wide receiver's getting up from that hit. It's a big hit by the defender. The quarterback should go up to his receiver and apologize for putting that ball in a position where he almost had his head taken out.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball on the 25-yard line. Throws complete. He's got room to work. Knocked out of bounds around the 42-yard line. They just couldn't get
And
the
that
back in time.
that route to Kirby over there has been ridiculously,
You
yeah,
have to mention the quarterback threw from 45
yeah. That was entirely ridiculous. He was halfway to the ground when he threw that. It was insane.
From their own 42-yard line. First down. And he's sacked.
And this time he lands the sack.
kills him last time.
Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Hit him again. Oh, it is.
Sack in the second down and long situation. He's tipped up at the 41-yard line.
But that is 3rd and long.
Hit somebody was what the crowd roared when Buddy Lagoon came over the boards. Coach.
That's a hard play to make. He would normally dive to the left, but he was able to. That was a great adjustment mid. dive, essentially. Like he's already active diving, and then to change it to that was awesome.
Now to punt. Oh, excellent
Improve
punt.
his DMs with agility.
Maybe a little bit too much ambition there from Huff, getting off
It's a
the
little frustrating. So many clipping films.
getting off the blocks before he'd caught the ball, causing him to muff that punt.
They had like 3 30-yard returns that were all knocked out.
No, they only knocked out 2 of them.
They had the kickoff return for 50 yards.
Yeah, 1 punt, 1 kickoff. They've only penalized you for 2 returns, not 3. No.
You can bet this defense made
He's
some
had some good
adjustments on the
returns.
sideline, though. I don't know if they can stop the passing attack. They need to at least be able to slow it down.
Just
Gets out to about the 31.
I'm trying for big plays, so it's not a problem for him. They're doing fine.
So now that Washington State is ahead by 21, you can count on Oregon State to have changed a few things, trying to probably go for more strips. But also, when they get back on offense, they'll be playing a very different pass-heavy playbook.
Maybe that offense pretty simple.
As Alan Rickman gets a 56-yard gain.
40 with 5 touchdowns. 440.
It is unlikely that Vincent Vega will lose his spot at the top of the Heisman standings this week, as he has a stellar game through only 3 quarters.
They missed the opening interception. They missed the big 6.
Yes, no, I told them about the opening interception, but
Now it's 1st and 10 with the defense trying to regroup after giving up the big pass. Way fake. Defense bearing down. Looking for the corner. He's pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Like 2nd inches all day. It's our favorite down distance.
Vincent Vega there keeping it. It looked like some guys were open, and they were open, but Vincent Vega did not have the space to stop, to set his feet, to throw that ball. Smartly keeping it and getting 2nd and inches. And another touchdown for Huff.
Passes have done 6. Huff's got 5. School record for passing touchdowns and yards already broke, right?
What?
Did we break it?
You broke receiving yardage in a season.
And now touchdown passes in there.
And touchdown passes in a game, but you have not broken receiving touchdowns in a game, which is strange.
And he adds the extra point. Let's get the latest now.
No,
from
he
Reese
did
Davis.
3.
Oh, he did? Okay, so that's even low. Okay,
I know that.
because you shoot for 3 every game. Yeah, because you're a jerk.
Lose today's game and expect to make a bowl. USC, SDS, 7-0.
All right, Reese, back to our game. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff.
But I've checked the 2 guys tied for the record. It doesn't count.
This one's going to be down
All right.
in the end zone for a touchback for Washington State. They've been getting into the backfield quite a bit. This defense has been bringing the blitz and is having success getting to it. This offense's best bet seems to be to keep the ball on the ground.
No, they haven't. So maybe they should just focus a bit more on the running game to mix it up and keep the defense
We have
guessing.
Woodland and
And they bring him down for a sack on the play.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, we're gonna get to do another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
92 quarterback kill us.
Yes, so not only does this game tell you which seniors get drafted into the NFL, it tells you which round they get drafted into the NFL, and your ability to get people drafted into the NFL is one of the 13 different possible metrics that recruits care about when you're recruiting them. So if you get a lot of people very high in the draft, that's a thing that makes you more attractive in general and more attractive specifically to certain recruits. The other thing is that people can elect to leave early. I've got a fantastic strong safety right now who is a true sophomore. Never redshirted. True sophomore 92, which is just insane. It's likely I'm not going to be able to keep him. Like, I would love to have him as a 95 next year and a 97 the year after that. But if I can keep him this year by promising him a better draft result, I don't think he's not graduating. He's leaving early. So that's a thing that does happen at the end of the season, is people leave early and you can attempt to convince them to not go for the draft. It's difficult.
15%.
If it looks like they're going to go high in the draft, it's very, very hard to stop them. But if it looks like they're on the bubble or going to go late in the draft, then it's much more possible.
This is as good as it gets. The defense is playing great. The offense has done their job. We've got a blowout here.
Penn State, actually, across seniors, just seniors alone, losing 17 players this year to graduation.
There's not much negative you can say about this performance.
He's scrambling. He heaves it deep.
To an uncovered Alan Rickman. 491 yards.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
Yeah.
He sends this one deep. And goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Washington State's defense has been a force to be reckoned with, especially this year.
They've stepped up
That
today.
has a
They
lot
just
to
seem
do with
be
their strong
dialed into
safety
what this offense
being
is trying
hurt.
to do. Good job against the run. They've been very physical. What I love is how relentless they run to the football.
I don't expect any once-in-a-lifetime rallies here. But that being said, we could still see some exciting plays. Out of bounds, right around the 30. From their own 30-yard line, it's second down. Shot to the open receiver, and he can't hang on to the ball.
Oregon State an abysmal 0 for 5 on third down.
The top 2
I think the big thing
veterinary
for the defense when they face
nominees.
the screen is chasing it from the inside out, which means the defensive linemen are the key to slowing down a really well-executed screen pass. Because if you think about it, the offensive linemen are getting downfield, blocking against the linebackers and the safeties. The defensive linemen have got to be able to recognize screen and then have the quickness to be able to chase the running back down to the line before he gets his momentum going when he gets through. Brad, this gives
He
you
is.
an indication of his versatility.
Wonderful dry sense of humor Alan Alda has.
Trying to stuff the run, but he has the
empathetic.
ability to be able to make
Yeah.
plays in space.
The
and this
baby,
time he climbs the
chicken,
ladder and knocks that
yeah.
ball away.
From their own 43-yard line, second down. Throws and it's incomplete.
And a fantastic drop there to get him to 3rd and 10. again. An incredible job there to get him out of the middle of that pack.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
I'm sorry. Sometimes the shit can get lost or erased or whatever if you wait too long. I'm sorry, but like that doesn't cover the whole thing. Come on, like all those moves, gotta save that. Spin, and then no, yeah, spin and then swim. But that was buttons.
Yeah.
That was, and then he looks. It just, it's,
That's it.
That's,
Yeah.
That's it. You can't get any better.
That's a great sack right there.
Cannot get any better. That was buttons, man. That was buttons.
The sack makes this a 4th and very long. Bell is waiting for the snap.
It's going to his umbrella, but no, okay.
Fields it at the 27. He's taken down.
It's on the rule right now. Just don't fumble.
He's had a great
Yeah.
game catching the ball.
Well, Brad, he really has, and he's got the hot hand. And let's give some credit to the offensive coordinator. He's smart enough to get the football to him and allow him to make these plays to help this offense out.
Any team would love to have a guy who can make 15 catches in one game. A touchdown was the end result of their last drive as this offense moved the ball very well with their passing game.
Well, I think this defense has got to do something because right now the quarterback
Pauly Shore with a 9-yard rush,
has got to do something to try to
90-yard total, and a touchdown.
try to come up with an exotic blitz look.
Having a fantastic. I mean, I'm not sure there's anybody on Washington State who's not having a fantastic game today. They are clearly outclassing Oregon State ever since I think probably about the middle of the second. Yeah.
4 yards on the pass, and they'll pick up the first
Pick
down.
six. Well, I mean,
No. Since the yeah.
offensively, we're fucking sick.
Yeah. That was a great reception there from Huff to turn that into a thing going into the dirt and maybe even into the defender's hands to jump for that.
Is there a turn to the
Check
defense?
the defense.
No. Now we've done all of them. Pauly Shore now 3 yards short of 100 yards rushing. a milestone he has yet to break in his career.
They need about 3 yards to get the first here on second down. Quarterback all by himself in the backfield with 5 wideouts. Gets it out to him again.
Huff breaking some tackles for that touchdown.
That's what happens when you're ridiculously on fire.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for crimson and gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end.
You weren't looking for the touchdown. You were looking for a first down to then get another 3 yards for Pauly Shore between there and the end zone.
Let's check in with Reese Davis in the studio.
Now down to Washington as the Huskies are ready to go in Seattle. The Huskies continuing to
Yeah.
pound the rock.
Well, hey, I'm okay. If Oregon goes down on that, I'm fine with that. You know,
Down strike. Washington
because I gotta pass them.
elsewhere. The traditional Pac-12 matchup between UCLA
Crushed Alabama.
and the battle for the victory bell. We've been
That
watching this thing
New Mexico Boise is close.
every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. And for Gardner, he's got a touchdown pass in this. The Trojans lead 10-7 early in the second quarter.
Doubtful.
Reese, we've really got
Yeah.
a lopsided game here.
Could bring it into play, maybe.
Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. He kicks it off, and he got all of that one. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. And for Riley,
He's been all over the field for this defense.
This is one of those performances that the guys back in the studio in Bristol are going to be talking about all night long. To me, this is just a classic example of just being bigger, faster, and stronger than the guy trying to block you.
if you want to point to certain individuals as reasons why they're winning, he'd be a good start. Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game and try to avoid injury. Gets it out to an open receiver and just drops it. From their own 25-yard line. It's second down. Just under 3 to go in regulation.
Fantastic tackle for loss there.
Hit somebody was what the crowd roared when Buddy the Goon came over the boards. Coach.
Throws right, intercepted. At the 30.
With that gravy kick right there.
From the 17-yard line. First down.
On defense, we'll have fun on defense. Let's go this 100 good.
And Pauly Shore has 100 rushing yards.
We're going to get something. Half has got plenty of touchdowns.
In the shotgun and 5 wideouts. He's got it. Touchdown. Washington State star is shining as brightly as he ever has.
And it's fun to watch a quarterback do all the preparation, all the work that he needs to be able to do to put himself in a position to mentally and physically have a shot to win the game for his team. And that's exactly what we just saw.
He's Splits the uprights with the extra point.
An insane stat line today from Vincent Vega. 30 for 35, 9 touchdowns.
Looks like they're ready for the kick. Sends it sailing downfield. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback.
The Cougars have really been all over the place. They're playing like a defense possessed.
I love to watch a defense just pin its ears back and just fly to the football. They are playing with a reckless attitude, and it's really paid off because it set up their offense to be able to score points.
We're late in the fourth quarter. This game has been a blowout for quite some time, and Kirk and I are just looking to make our flights.
A little over a minute in the game. Here they come. He throws it. That's incomplete.
Good job here by the defense. If you let this quarterback set and throw, he'll kill you off game. But they got excellent pressure on that play.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 25. Gets it quickly to the tight end, but it's dropped. Here comes the pressure.
Touchdown staving tackle there.
42-yard line.
The defense might need to make some changes to their coverage scheme because that was just too easy.
From their own 42-yard line. First down. Under heavy pressure. He goes out of bounds around the 43-yard line.
Makes it 2nd and 8.
And they get the sack after Riley farming the 6.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Throws to the receiver, and he's got it again. And they push him out at the 47-yard line. Under a minute left. Takes the grab, and he's got the first. And it's caught to the 10.
Really?
He's taken down at the 4.
Okay. Sometimes this is a class guy. That's awesome.
Oregon State trying to get one more score in. 27 seconds left to go. 1st and goal from the 4.
So after the big pass play, we have a 1st and goal. They're crowding that line of scrimmage. I'm pretty sure they won't win it, but they haven't quit yet.
Give us time. Fine.
Great play by the halfback there to find his way into the end zone.
Again, the offense goes with the option. The defender can only pick one player. This time, Ken picked the wrong guy.
You think they're going to go for the onside?
Quick update now. Here's Reese.
Not Malcolm.
Wait till you see what's happening in Seattle. This is a game we've been watching closely all day long. The Ducks have a lethal pass-catch combination for a touchdown.
And he's taken down at the 43.
Coach just got the 50th win of his career. That doesn't put you in the Hall of
Yep.
Fame, but it's a great start.
The lights went out a long time ago, for one of these teams anyway. They'll be put out of their misery soon.
Defensive coordinator anticipating this 5-wide set. He comes in with his dime package.
Nice looking play that time.
Well, the defense was blitzing here, and again, great recognition by the quarterback to find the hot receiver.
Washington State's going to take their first time out of the hat.
560.
The clock will stop with that incompletion.
Boy, I don't understand that strategy at all. With the lead late in the game, you just need to run the football. That's not a smart decision.
A quarterback in the gun with 5 receivers. Got a man, watch out here. Touchdown, Washington State.
588, 32 and 30.
Clock keeper just keep it moving.
And really, the only time we were going for stats was that drive. The rest of the game was just fluff.
You were just taking what you got. All right.
And he hits the PAT. It was a quick 3-play, 43-yard drive, and it's good for 7 points.
Yes, it is.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
Yeah, he didn't catch my part of the conversation here, did he?
No, he did not catch. Yeah. So coach was saying that he was not going for stats until that last drive there, but the what Oregon State gave him this game was just insane.
Yeah, the first 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters. Yeah, can we get the message stuff? Yeah. And then your wrap up over top.
All right. Well, as Siwak noted, a total second half domination there from Washington State, as we saw that a very good combination of early scrambles and passes made the runs open for Pauly Shore and made the long bombs open for the many 40, 60 yard passes in that game. And the defense of Oregon State just not being able to keep up with Washington State's after that pick, that early pick, so yeah, that's just an 588 and 10 touchdowns. That is an insane stat line. He's not losing the Heisman battle this week. Yeah, and that was that. There was a pick 6 early. He's watching it right now. Yeah. Yeah. Well, even after that, no, but then the next thing you did was okay, yeah, you tied it up and then they immediately scored, and then you tied it up and then they immediately scored. And it wasn't until after that you really started taking it up. Yeah, this is the get up off the ground play. This is the insane 75-yard run where he gets up off the ground. And that's one of our 60-yard passes for a touchdown.
Not enough time to stop, look at the map, find the end zone. And we had at least 2 really huge defensive plays that were user skill.
Oh, yeah. All right, so
11.
All right, with that in the books, Washington State only has one remaining.
Rival Washington for the Apple Cup.
Okay, yeah, one remaining Pac-12 game against rival Washington for the Apple Cup next week. Before we are very quickly getting into conference championship and bowl season.
Postseason, yeah.
The postseason coming up soon.
Just a quick look at the overall. Get it on film.
Total 734 yards of offense.
6.
146 yards passing, 100 of which were
146 yards rushing.
rushing. 100 of which were Pauly Shore.
It's not like we just played up until the last drive.
Yeah. Just a well-executed game from the now 10-0 Washington State.
6 for 6 on third. They were 3 for 10. That's what you want.
Well, and they were 0 for 5 They like it was they were they were 3 out of 5 on third down in the fourth quarter alone.
They just had a lot of big plays themselves.
Yeah.
But they couldn't keep up with our big plays.
No, they could not.
Yeah, more time of possession. But really, that's 700 yards of offense?
Yeah.
What?
So Leon wants to know: are there many other undefeated teams? And the answer to that is no. I'm not sure how many other undefeated teams. We don't know how many of them are still undefeated after this week. We won't know that until we spin.
We
But
were now going to take a look.
but we can go take a look and see how many other teams made it to 9-0. All right, and it looks like, barely, Maryland beat Rutgers, which is,
One more game.
they have one more game, and I really, really want them to lose so that I can win the Big Ten East.
And if they don't, then you need Michigan to beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
You need a three-way tie. And that's a better percentage. It's better. Because if it's head-to-head, you're out.
Yeah.
Barely. I'm surprised it was that defensive doing Rutgers offense. I'm not surprised it was close, but I'm surprised it was that defensive. I need to use the head.
Yeah, me too.
Can I get like 5 minutes between games?
Absolutely. So we're going to take about a 5-minute break here so people can, use the bathroom and get some beers and some stretch before we kick off again. But we will grab the who's undefeated for you real quick in just a second.
They're going to go pull before you out. Sure.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, and it looks like 4 undefeated teams: Washington State, Virginia Tech, Boise State, and UCF. We don't know the result of that New Mexico game.
The Air Force and the Mountain West Championship.
Yep.
UCF, Temple, which can be tough.
Yep, and USF.
Which was
Both,
a team last week.
yeah, both losable games. And Virginia Tech, unlikely they'll lose either of those.
It's a rivalry game, but they're
Yeah.
not that good. But hey, but then they got to play the ACC championship.
Yep, they do. And who's that going to be against?
SEC.
Yeah. Clemson. Clemson won their game this week.
And that makes them 8-0, and their final game is non-conference against South Carolina. Right.
Yeah, and well, and look at nobody's catching up to them in that conference.
Yeah. And yeah, just beat Cincinnati. They have to play USF. What's it called?
Boy.
Georgia State, winning the division, Miami, probably Fresno. 6-4. Only 81 overall.
Yeah.
If I put my money on 1 through, was
Yep.
Clemson to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Clemson's a slightly better rated team. All right, Coach here taking a minute to do something in another dynasty, apparently. Then we'll get in and take a look at Michigan State. I wonder if Old Dominion was ever just Dominion.
I took him out. I had to take him out. I was like, he could have had
All right, ladies and germs, it's going to still be another about 5 minutes here as we shut down and swap things out. So. All right.
It's in the game.
Okay, this isn't right. I'm apparently second player, which I don't know if that's going to cause a problem. So I'm going to shut down and reboot since we have gone for snacks. There we go.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
So Leon, to your earlier question about your draft, people who leave for the draft, if we look here, so these are all the letter grades of your school, based on all sorts of statistics, and these affect recruits, and this is your pro potential. So it says, Penn State has had 3 first-rounders, 1 second-rounder, 2 third-rounders, and 4 through 7. So that gives them an A. That gives them pretty good, but not not amazing, not the ridiculousness that is up there with Alabama. To go through these real quick, playing time and playing style are things that matter depending on other, they're too specific. So you see, PSU has a D+ in quarterback pass because I don't quarterback pass too much. QB balanced, D, because for whatever reason. And then, so I'm going to get low grades a lot because I don't have a high-powered offense. So you see, 77 yards a game, not great. Not great on the fullback either, or that. Tight end, I'm, high grade in the tight end. O-line pass blocking, O-line balanced, O-line run blocking. Defensive end pass rush really good. Defensive end balanced pretty good, very good as well. Defensive end run stopping not as much. Defensive pass rush good. Pretty good. Outside linebackers, not a whole lot of interceptions, so no coverage, not a whole lot in balanced, not a whole lot in run stop. Middle linebackers better, but very good cornerback coverage, pretty good quarterback balanced, pretty good quarterback hard hit, great free safety coverage, not so much at balanced or hard hitter. Coverage, free safety, not as much, but balanced, solid, and hard hitter, quite high. So, and then playing time, this is a thing where people have to, the longer somebody waits, the lower the grade they get, because these people are, going to be, these are all prospects, so they're worried about, am I going to get a chance to play? And look, Henry knows he's going to get a chance to play. And then proximity to home is based on your state. Alright, I guess I can keep going while Spectre is otherwise occupied. So coach prestige, this is meeting or exceeding contract expectations. You have a minimum wins a season that you're expected to get. This is based on ranking and what they project for you in the next couple of years. As you can see, they project Penn State to do quite well in the next couple of years because of the recruiting classes we've been getting. Based on stadium atmosphere, pro potential, program tradition is just a matter of your record in bowl games and so forth. TV exposure, academic prestige, this is by not having to wait long to be a starter. Conference prestige is based on the average ranking of your conference. And then these last two, athletic facilities and campus lifestyle are sort of amalgamations of the rest of the stuff. And then coach stability is, just how long you've been there. So that's the rundown of all that stuff. And pro potential is one of those things. So that's why it's important. Alright, so I'm going to take a quick look to see. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Alright. Does Michigan State have any injuries? Yes. Okay. This guy is questionable, so he's out. So he's not going to play. And he's a right tackle. All right, so we're looking at a quarterback that has good running stats. He's a 94, but does he run? No, he does not run. He only gets 10 yards a game. He's really not running. Despite the fact that he probably should be as a 94. Now, is Kelly doing anything? No, he might have been in for one game. Now, 92 impact player. This guy is dangerous at 72 yards a game. But he's not he's receiving some, but not an incredible amount. Fullback, lousy. Wide receivers, this guy's on a hot streak, 102 yards a game. Dangerous at Jones. 60 yards, dangerous Brooks. Not using him. Not using him. Not using him. Okay, so they use Brooks and Jones pretty much exclusively. And 40 yards to the tight ends. Okay, Brooks, Jones, Harvey. Then we're looking at their offensive line. 78, 91, 74, 88, and then he's out because he's questionable. So they're using this 70. So that's a not. Yeah, it makes them average overall, but peaky because the tackles are really good and everybody else is. And I think that's true of the rest of this team. Like decent ends. Yeah, they probably play 3-3-5. And very, good linebackers there. And then 2 or even 3 good corners. Bad free safety. Yeah, but he's pretty so definitely a better defense than offense. And peaky, just all around peaky.
3 of those 4.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. All right. So. We'll get started here in just a second. So one thing that was unfortunate is at least in my practice dynasty, this guy neither the defensive coordinator nor the head coach of Michigan still have that job. So Michigan State. Sorry. So practicing completely different defense when I practiced. I definitely expected 3-3-5. That's why I stopped practicing because I'm like, this is not what I'm going to see. Now, Edgar Key, not particularly worried about here, but Derrick Henry for the tight end, I want him very, very badly. 100 yards for the tight end, totally doable, but not the first priority. Because you see, very good defense. Yeah. Oh, we have another snow game, and I'm going to turn the headset over to Spectre for color commentary.
It is a winter wonderland as number 18 Penn State takes on Michigan State for the Land-Grant Trophy. A late season rivalry game to help decide the Big Ten East Division. You see Penn State much more pass heavy than run on their defense. They give up more yards passing than they do rushing. They lead the nation in rush defense. And we will see how they deal with what appears to be a balanced Michigan State attack. I'd like to welcome all of our regular, first-time, and veteran viewers to a key late-season League One game between a ranked Penn State and arch-rival, number one rival for Penn State, Michigan State, in the land-grant trophy at stake.
Teams are lining up for the kickoff. We're just about set to get this one underway.
Michigan State wins the toss and will elect to defer to the second half. Penn State starts with a ball. Disadvantageous scenario, but one that we have seen before.
And they got that huge offensive line, and you get too worried about them, and sometimes you can overlook the fact that
It's going to be tough today for this defense. I think they're going to have to take some chances and load this line of scrimmage. And, as a play caller for this offense, when you have such a gifted running back, it opens up every aspect of the offense. I mean, the play-action pass with this running game, you get those linebackers
Up the gut on the first down on this sheet of ice. And the Canadian Nick Scott gets 2 yards on his 200th carry of the season.
It's second down and 8. Ball on the 23.
Coming out with the twin tight ends, the short pass to the second tight end. Bullock gets 25 yards up near midfield. A breath of fresh air.
when an offense at this level knows that there's pressure coming, they can make the proper adjustments and then put those wide receivers in one-on-one opportunities against the defense. When you blitz, you really
Yes, active one. A cup of cocoa is what's called for. This is football weather. There's something about the cold that makes you feel alive that the sun just doesn't. When you can see your breath, when you can feel your skin, you're a little bit more awake. And you have a general thirst for all the important things in life. Rolling up in a blanket. Hopefully with somebody. Third and short, as the Nittany Lions face an early test here in the snow.
It's third down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
It is late November in central Pennsylvania. Penn State converts down to the 38-yard line. This is Big Ten football, ladies and gentlemen. We have a war of the elements. Looked like it was Scott who was open on that play as Penn State fires it on the corner route. Overthrown, a safe throw. As the Nittany Lions now face second and long from the 38-yard line. They'll take half of it. Now approaching third and manageable. 5 yards to go for a fresh set of downs. And the 33-yard line as well makes this interesting. If they come up short by a yard or two, that's still a makeable field goal. If they can get 2 or 3 yards, that's better than nothing.
Here's the 8th play of the series. The quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation. Fires that quickly, incomplete.
Incompletion. We'll see if Penn State trots the kicker out. What their kicker is rated comes into question. This is a gray area of the football field, covered in a sheet of gray. A 90 sophomore. Is it power or accuracy? He's got 95 accuracy. He does have 86 power, and a 50-yard field goal for 86 power should be makeable as long as the wind really isn't against him more than about 3 or 4 miles per hour.
It is. I know it's like this, 11.
Coach is telling me the wind is 11 miles per hour against him right now. That is an unmakeable field goal from 33-yard line. This might be no man's land. This might be an area where they use one of those 4th down attempts. They've got a few of them.
Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
That's exactly what they do.
I'm not sure I really agree with this call to go for it, but that's why I'm not coaching, folks.
Oh, he gets it and more. A monster play on 4th down. Sets him up with 1st and goal. The coaches are allowed 12 4th down attempts per season. Coach King has saved many of his 4th down attempts, was able to use one here in this late season game and get a huge payoff on cashing in that ticket.
You're facing a talented quarterback like this man right here, you're going to pay for it.
This is the 10th play of this drive.
That was Penn State's 7th 4th down attempt. Nick Scott, the Canadian, getting the first touchdown for the Nittany Lions.
Into excellent position in the conference if they win today. Holt looks ready to kick this one off.
Penn State with a booming kickoff puts the Spartans back to the goal line. They run it back to the 20-yard line-ish. 1st and 10 coming up.
Brings his troops out onto the field for the first drive of the game. He's out to the 30. He's to the 40. Across midfield. And they make this
big run by Michigan State. A 39-yard run out to midfield. Gets their halfback warmed up. This is the Big Ten. This is mostly teams that enjoy running the football. And you can expect number 32 from Michigan State to get a few more carries before this game is done.
And he's tackled at the 38-yard line. Mason gets 3 yards on the carry.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6. Ball on the 38.
Penn State coming out in man defense.
He laterals. Nice run there as they work the outside.
They limit him from getting a first down and have earned themselves a 3rd down attempt. In the next all-or-nothing play out of a series of what we expect to be many. The fullback dive. A little bit of user action there. The Spartans running a little trickeration with a fullback dive on the short yardage play. That's something that users enjoy doing, as defense is key on halfbacks. Just a good call in general. As Michigan State approaching 2nd and 6 from what must be considered inside field goal range.
From the 27-yard line, it's 2nd down.
Might be a face mask there. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It's an honest call. Something you don't like to see out of Singletary. That's a kid who plays with a lot of heart. I'm sure he will have a good rest of the game.
From the 13-yard line, 1st down. Touchdown, Michigan State.
A.J. Mason, number 32, making up most of the yardage on that drive, starting with the large 39-yard run to open the series. And Mason should be looked on as the focal point of the Spartans' offense from this point moving forward.
Two halfbacks are in there.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. So that's a 6-play.
Mason the one doing the damage
They get it in for 7.
And Brad, right now, the
in the early going.
opening the battle in the trenches, opening up some big run moves.
We're even at 7 in this one. Looks like they're ready for the kick. Douglas fields it at the 2. Down at the 27.
Decent kick return by the Nittany Lions gets him out to the almost 30-yard line. The ball resting at the 27-yard line. Hard to make out here amongst the flakes. Difficult to see from up here in the press box, folks. It's coming down in stair rods.
Well, it's one thing to have speed. It's another thing to have an idea of what you're doing and how to attack the defense. And right now, these wide receivers clearly have done an outstanding job in being able to make their reads and getting out of their breaks, and the quarterback put the ball right on the money.
Scott comes away with 5 yards on the carry.
Second approachable for the Nittany Lions, working their way from their own territory towards midfield. Left to right across your radio dial here live in Happy Valley. Cole Robinson, the star tight end for the Nittany Lions, coming up with a big 1st down catch. His first play of the day. But rest assured, he is one of the finest players wearing navy and white today.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
41-yard line. Second down.
Yes, indeed. The Monstars
The 42.
trying to come up with a defensive stop here against Bugs Bunny and the Penn State offense.
I totally forgot about that.
We have a wild card audio producer, a funny gent. Mason making the early play for Michigan State. Penn State trying to respond here and maintain control of the football game as we enter the second quarter against the Monstars of Michigan State.
Quarterback in the gun with 5 receivers.
And a quick throw.
An ad-lib, mad-lib play gets a first down. Vincent Hickman in what might be his first catch of the season.
No, it's not.
A lesser-used offensive weapon for the Nittany Lions comes up with a monster play, getting them first down here in a tie ball game.
Makes the grab and steps out right away.
Little patience there, waiting on the throw to Robinson. Cole able to navigate through a couple of bodies there late on the route and come up with a catch just inside the right sideline. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Penn State at the 36-yard line of the Spartans.
It's first down. Brought down after a nice run up the middle. This flag came from the umpire, and that means this.
Here comes the test.
Well, if you want to ruin a drive, just grab a hold of the defender's jersey.
So the penalty puts him back for a first and long. Zips it to the back. Knocked out of bounds around the 33.
Nick Scott with a 10-yard reception, his second catch of the day, down to the 33-yard line of Michigan State.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
Penn State skating down the field.
He makes it to the 32-yard line.
3rd and 7 now. Penn State going to be forced probably to pass here. And we will see what they come up with. We've got the stick and nod with an audible hot route, the Calvin audible as we call it. The slot receiver running a slant or a post. It's the tight end who breaks open first. And I'll tell you what, folks, that play looked a lot easier than it was. There's not a whole lot of tight ends that would have found that much space on that play. It looked like it might have been a play where the slot receiver would have been the better look, but he wasn't quite open yet. And the fact that the tight end, Cole Robinson, is such a special player, he was able to find space a little bit quicker, I think, than a lot of tight ends would have in that situation. Speaking of space, Leon.
He gets out to about the 12-yard line. 12-yard line. It's second down.
Bullock getting 7 yards on 2nd and 8. Setting up the Nittany Lions with a 3rd and minuscule. They are not going to tighten up. They're coming out in a 5 wide. And a clutch catch. Anthony Scott proving his worth once again. Number 21, top-rated receiver on Penn State's offense.
First down, and they've got their eyes on that goal line. Tackle made right around the 2-yard line. Maybe a yard on the run by the tailback.
Well, those are the kind of hits that'll take some miles off a ball carrier.
Defenses get a little bit different here inside the 5, a little bit tighter. And you have to come up with a little bit of a different style of play.
He's tackled at the 1. Pickup of a yard for the tailback.
Down to the 1-yard line here on 3rd and goal.
Third down now and goal to go. About a yard to Pater.
Tim Thornton's Steakhouse on the 1-yard plunge.
Maryland's on top, 17-14. Getting close to halftime.
And for Michigan State, they played Rutgers a week ago. And it looks like
Snow coming sideways here in Happy Valley in front of 110,000 bundled up fans as the Nittany Lions take a second quarter lead with less than 3 minutes remaining before the intermission.
Loving this. In fact, you can look over at our booth next to us and see how much they're enjoying it with a big smile on their face. The defensive coordinators, on the other hand, might be looking for a pink slip on Monday.
In a game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions.
on the ground inside. And he's taken down at the 31-yard line.
A picturesque play by the Michigan State offense gets them to 2nd and short, every coach's favorite down and distance, 2nd and 1. A multitude of options available for the Spartans of Michigan State.
Second down now, and they're just a few feet away from that first down marker. That's a great tackle. 33-yard line.
No greed in the offense this play as they gladly take the 2-yard pass. Gets the ball out to the 33-yard line. We've got about 25 to 30 feet of clear visibility in front of the players at this time. We've got a low fog coming in off the western side of the stadium. Hasn't settled in onto the field yet, but conditions becoming worse. You see the players not getting a whole lot of footing.
Michigan State's going to use their first time out of the half here.
4 yards away here on second down. And they've got the dime package in there to try and deal with this 5-receiver look. Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry.
Another completion. Michigan State's passing offense starting to come in handy a little bit. 2 for 2 now for the quarterback as he begins to find his footing. A sack
Sacks like that as a quarterback. You just can't. If you can't find a receiver, you have to block it.
by the Nittany Lions. Coming up huge. Quarterback not quite where he wants to be at this moment. And another sack. Penn State doing more than just staving off the quarterback getting heated up. In fact, cooling him off from any previous progress. We've got 3rd and a mile coming up here just before the half. Penn State pushing the Spartans back to their own 38-yard line, trying to take advantage of field position here with the timeout to set up 3rd and 25. Michigan State back to pass. Penn State in heavy pass defense. Can't quite make the play. In fact, Michigan State down inside the 5. A monster gain, a huge play in the scope of things relative to the game situation, as Michigan State with a quick run out of the huddle, now to the 1-yard line, looking to get the touchdown, gets the touchdown, does, however, tie the game up pending the extra point, but does give Penn State 1:06 and 1 timeout to run their own 2-minute drill and retake command of this football game, as Michigan State does not lay down without a fight.
Mixing up the play calling on that drive. I thought the defense was on its heels most of the drive because of the versatility of the offense.
14 apiece. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Well, I'm sure Reese is having fun giving updates from this game to our other games going on today. We've had back-to-back scores. They've been like a couple of fighters feeling each other out so far. Let's see if they start to open it up a little bit more now. 5 guys will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun.
Boy, was he drilled as he let go of that football.
Yeah, he's going to feel that one too.
Just barely running out of time. That's the difference between 17 yards and 0. As Penn State now faces 2nd and 10 towards the end of the first half.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Interception by Michigan State. That's going to give the Spartans a chance to get some points themselves right before the half. A big turn of events, but Penn State's defense, one of the top in the country, will look to put the clamps down right here on the Michigan State offense.
Ball on the 35-yard line, and they're going to put 6 DBs on the field to counter that 5-receiver look.
Incompletion. Lucky it wasn't picked. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. You wonder if Michigan State's playing for the touchdown or the field goal at this point. They're playing a little bit more aggressive inside the 2-minute mark. They will come out with their 2-minute offense. It's just a question of what exactly it is they'll be doing. We're going to have a roughing the passer. That's going to give 1st down to Michigan State. That puts them in field goal range. The Spartans with the ball at the Penn State 20. However, 2 sacks could put the Spartans right back out of field goal range.
From the 20-yard line, 1st down.
Penn State coming out in the cover 2 man, playing it safe, avoiding the touchdown. They're happy to concede a field goal at this point. The running back down inside the 10-yard line to the 5. 96 yards for A.J. Mason here just seconds before the half.
And they push him out at the 1-yard line.
Avoids the touchdown. They are not in yet.
From the 1-yard line. Second down. Everybody bunched up tight.
It's going to have to be sellout time.
Touchdown, Michigan State.
7 more points for the Spartans here right before the half. Michigan State coming alive here at the end of the second quarter to take a 6-point lead, now a 7-point lead. 33 seconds before the half. Penn State may be looking to steal 3.
Harrison fields it at the 3. Room around the corner. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. The Nittany Lions had the right game plan, I think, because this is
You see the effects of momentum. It's something that was in NCAA football throughout much of the 2000s when the series was being regularly produced, being annually produced. Momentum, even for several years, had a meter that you could see in the top right part of the screen. It's been removed, the meter. There's some belief that the code remains in the game. And if it does, it's fair to say that momentum lies with the Spartans.
quarterback in the gun. Empty backfield. 5 wide receivers in the formation. And they make the stop, the 37-yard line.
There is the wise use of the timeout. They came up short of the first down, so the clock was going to be moving with 18 seconds left. They went for the timeout. Smart usage of it. Now a first down will stop the clock. They can then spike the ball, or they can get the ball out of bounds. Either way. He's got the first down. They're going to go no huddle. Probably come up to the line of scrimmage and spike the ball. Get to 2nd and 10 here at the 28, 27-yard line. 13 seconds left. No timeouts. Down in distance is 2nd and 10, but you got to imagine that Penn State's throwing for at least 10 yards on the next play. They can't afford to come up short on the next play because they don't have enough time to get a second play off after that.
5 wide receivers.
Over the linebacker, inside the 5. Probably going to spike the ball here again with 8 seconds. They're going to look to get 2 plays off here from inside the 5. Probably 2 passes. They're not going to have time for runs. They're going to be able to take the risk on a run. I'd look for I'd probably 1 pass here in the end zone, and if they don't make it on the pass, then a field goal would be the coach's handbook. They cannot come up short. They absolutely cannot come up short. Gets the touchdown. Anthony Scott, his second big play of the day. This one resulting in 6 points. His first touchdown. Penn State's first touchdown passing. That'll go a long way to recovering the momentum of the Penn State offense, of the Penn State passing game following that interception. The touchdown pass for the quarterback, hopefully making up for that earlier interception. Going into the locker room now, 5 seconds remaining. Penn State bringing the momentum right back to 50-50. A key 30-something second drive. Remember that Michigan State scored their second momentous touchdown with just 30-something seconds left. Penn State doing a tremendous job to tie the football game going into the locker room. We'll see 1 Hail Mary here. Could see a sack. It's tough to get enough time to throw the ball 40 or 50 yards. A crowd takes the ball to the ground, and we will enter the half tied
21-21 ball game.
21 all here in this clutch League One late season contest.
With us on the EA Sports NCAA
Penn State battling for supremacy in the Big Ten East Division in an online dynasty with 7 members. We're in season 9 as
Well, we say it here all the time.
we watch a league that has matured from trying Heisman level to trying sliders to trying more difficult sliders to now with the most difficult sliders.
Who has the more explosive player? This might
Anything to make games challenging against the computer. And speaking of challenging, the game you're witnessing here in the Blizzard in Happy Valley in front of 110,000 fans, not becoming a defensive slugfest. Both teams valiantly fighting through low visibility, high winds, and several inches of snow. The grounds crew have done a great job during the halftime intermission of keeping those yard lines visible. You saw them out there at the break going up and down the rows with the sleds and with the shovels.
Think about some gadget plays to catch the defense napping.
Mason, another huge run. He is the man.
That's something else.
He is the man of the hour. And at this point, you have to believe that Penn State is just going to sell out on Mason and let anybody else beat them.
Problem is, that's what I've been doing.
Mason with the carry again. This time the Penn State defense containing him. Tyrone Williams on the tackle. Second and long now for the Spartans here in the opening drive of the second half. Mason for -3. Penn State now putting the onus of their focus on the Michigan State tailback. He's gained well over 100 yards, but at this point, he is the only player dominating in this football game who's wearing green. The other dominating players have come from the opposing sideline. Stuffs the screen pass. 4th and 13 in no man's land. It'll be interesting to see from the 32. They're going to try the long field goal. We saw in the pregame that Michigan State had a 75 overall kicker. It is mathematically possible for him to make this field goal, but with the wind moving that far side to side, you see the flakes going almost horizontal. That is a tough kick, and he is not Adam Vinatieri.
What might have happened there on this try?
Well, sure.
I think it says something about the quality of the preparation of both teams that we're into the third quarter and nobody's been able to pull away. Both sides seem to know what to expect. He's tackled at the 34. From their own 34-yard line. It's second down.
Penn State coming out now in the Twins tight end set. Bullock, the second tight end, coming up with a 1-yard catch, setting them up for a 3rd and 6. Mid-yardage, 3rd down play. Hello, Germany's Next Fusion. Welcome back to your regular seat at the table. A frequent fan, a regular visitor, a constant contributor. That's going to be short. It's going to be interesting to see what Penn State does. At this point, you know, they are in control of the football game for the most part. You would expect that they wouldn't be taking too many chances. However, they are considering on their own 41 going for this fourth down, going for another fourth down on their half of the field. They have some to spare. They can attempt it. It would be an interesting scenario as they break the huddle. 4th and 1. Clock ticking down here in the third quarter. Makes the catch, diving. It's all they need. It is a fresh set of downs. I enjoyed a couple of seasons at Notre Dame, Germany. I would have to say that I find it to be a penalty to not have the conference championship game at the end of the season when you are undefeated in amongst 4 undefeateds, or when you have one loss amongst 3 or 4 one-loss teams. It becomes much more difficult to make the national championship game without a conference championship game. And I think we all know that Notre Dame would never join any other conference. They have their individual own contract with NBC Sports for their games to be nationally televised. Conferences can get a game of the week or get 2 games of the week on national television. Notre Dame has their own individual national television contract. Why would they want to split that television money 12 ways? Clutch, 3rd down conversion. Douglas, the punt returner, number 7, one of the many useful receivers for the Nittany Lions, comes up with a key 1st down conversion. That's going to cross the midfield stripe and put the ball well into scoring range down to the 33-yard line of the Michigan State Spartans. The Utah Utes, home of Steve Smith, wide receiver for the Panthers and the Ravens. Run up the gut. It'll be 2nd and 5 as time continues to melt away here in the third quarter. A snowstorm keeping things cool.
It's the 9th play of the drive.
Wonderful 1st down conversion by Cole Robinson, his 5th catch of the game. All of them have been important as he has played his part. The silent minority, as the student body calls him. He keeps quiet, but just continues to perform at a high level. Run up the gut by Scott. He's got 46 yards on 15 carries. Michigan State containing the Penn State rushing attack to a certain extent. But Penn State so far behind the arm of Sledge has managed to keep the ball moving, keep matriculating the ball down that snow-shodden field. as they come out now about the 10-yard line. Heavy coverage there. Penn State refusing to make the mistake. Didn't want to throw it in tight coverage. Takes the sack. It's tough to watch as a fan of the team, but you have to remember that is a smart play. That is a football play. You do not put the ball into heavy coverage in the red zone. That's how you give up possession. They are still in scoring range. They have a 1st and goal. You live to fight another play. You live to fight another play. That's the coach's handbook, and you get rewarded for it. You see Penn State here now. They're going to end the 3rd quarter knocking on the doorstep of the Michigan State Spartans. Oh, the second effort gets him to score to end the 3rd. The final play of the 3rd period. And Penn State takes the 6-point lead. We await the extra point.
Running, the blocking, the entire package. A well-deserved score.
They got to him early, but didn't get quite enough of it. And he hits the PAT.
Cool, calm, collected Penn State owns the 3rd period of what was a tie football game.
They're trying to put a stranglehold on this game. The Scarlet Knights are on top, 24-20.
An offensive showcase through 3 quarters. Will either team slow down in the final stanza?
Nick Scott, the Canadian from Peterborough, Canada. Just outside Toronto, a youth hockey hub. An area not too far from where Wayne Gretzky grew up. Nick Scott, the Canadian, is having an excellent football game.
You should have played rush for Nick Scott.
It's going to be an exciting finish.
All right, we're just about set to start action here again in the 4th quarter. You know this is a real crucial time in the game. It could still go either way. Heading for the corner.
The run to the outside, a heated up Mason gets 10 yards, 2nd and inches, every coach's favorite down and distance.
So it's 2nd down, and they're only about a foot away from picking up the 1st down.
A fake fullback dive to the halfback toss. Penn State stays home. Makes a key stop. A loss of 2. We will now see 3rd and 3 in a play here early in the 4th quarter that you must consider a big play in the context of the game.
They're going to need about 3 yards to pick up the 1st down.
The run gets the 1st down. Michigan State has a chance to regroup. Penn State's defense not allowing much, but allowing enough for the Spartans to continue the drive. Mason a run to the right, 143 yards rushing. Mason's got 155. So the rest of the team has minus 12 yards rushing. Mason's supplying 155 yards of offense with his legs in this football game. 2nd and 5 here for the Spartans of Michigan State. Mike Hidgen, the backup halfback, finds a hole behind that well-tuned Michigan State offensive line, that active one accurately points out, is playing well at this particular time. We saw them coming into the game. We looked at the depth chart. We saw plenty of talent from left to right on the Michigan State offensive line. Up the gut, Higdon. His third carry, only a yard this time, 2nd and 9. And now we see in the huddle, halfback 32, A.J. Mason is back in the football game.
From their own 44-yard line. 2nd down. And they make the stop around the 46.
Mason with 2 yards up the gut. Penn State now right where they want to be with 3rd and acceptable. 7 yards gives you plenty of flexibility between running a cover 3, a cover 2, a man.
3rd down, and they need to get it inside the 47.
To date, Michigan State's quarterback has not shown an affinity for scrambling. I don't think you need to run a spy in this scenario, as they don't. You see cover 2 man. In the seams, the slant from left to right, they didn't need much and they didn't get much. But they got enough to extend this football game. Another clutch conversion. That's the 2nd one of this drive. A questionable conversion that Michigan State was able to get. They get the seal block on the edge there that got him into the outside. He gets another 2 or 3 after the fact. As Mason with 164 yards rushing.
So it's 2nd down now, and they need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
They're ready for Mason that time. Michigan State over-relying on their star halfback, taking a few too many risks in giving him a few too many carries. That now sets up Penn State for a 3rd and 7. The percentages are in their favor. If this were a poker hand, they'd have a lot of outs. Michigan State once again showing that they have talent. They have clutch players. The quarterback, the receivers, they continue to make plays on this drive when they need plays. And you have to wonder at this point at the 30-yard line, considering that Michigan State, with less than 4 minutes left in the game, is probably going to be going for it on 4th down. The question then becomes, the focus then shifts to, how much time is Penn State going to have if Michigan State scores? And if Penn State can come up with the stop, it would be the signature stop of the season for a defense that would rather consider itself among the best in the country. A stop here would be a signature stamp upon that reputation.
13th play of the drive coming up. Just under 3 to go in regulation. Set up a little screen, gets it to his tailback. Inside the 10. Touchdown.
So the answer to the first question is 2 minutes and 41 seconds. That's how much time Penn State's going to have in a tie ball game awaiting the extra point. The key here for Penn State is to focus on 1st downs first. Get yourself into field goal range, then worry about the clock. They'll be receiving the kickoff here as you see Maryland defeating Rutgers in the Big Ten East. Right now, Penn State focused on winning this particular football game.
You've
You've got to be aware that capitalizing on this drive is crucial. You want to take the pressure off you and put it on your opponent. And now he's got room to run. Oh, so close to breaking it.
Penn makes the tackle at the 37-yard line. That's good enough for another Penn State first down.
And a big pickup through the air has made it 1st and 10. Just over 2 minutes in the game.
Set. 180. Wide.
He's out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Gain of 4 on the play. That makes it 2nd and 6.
A couple of massive positive yards plays for Penn State. Gets them down deep into Michigan State territory. We've got a flag on the play.
This one might be coming back, folks. Let's check out the penalty.
Just what Penn State didn't want to see. Clipping is going to set them back, but not that much. 2nd and 9. Not as bad as it could be.
Get that yardage back here. From the 36-yard line, it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
Penn State approaching the line on the twin tight end set. They'll get the sack. It'll be 3rd and 15 from the 42. Penn State has a leg. They've got at least one leg on their roster. If they can get 6-7 yards here, that would make all the difference in the world.
With 5 wide receivers. Well, you can see the elation on the defensive coordinator's side.
That'll be an incompletion. Penn State will be forced to punt.
Stops of the game.
The Michigan State defense, rearing its head for the first time here in the second half.
He's going to try to coffin corner this one.
This is indeed a rivalry game.
He punts this one high in the air. And for Mason, putting up good numbers.
Well, you're going to have big
There you see another big run by Mason.
games with this runner showing because he lets them
Number 32 from Michigan State, the star player of the game.
clear the way. They look like they're snowplows right now in this weather, just clearing the way and allowing this back to have a great game.
A little over a minute in the game. Quick pass, intercepted.
Great diving catch.
Cole Robinson, the first down completion. He's got 100 yards now. 7 catches for the star tight end of the Nittany Lions. At the 25-yard line with 3 timeouts, they are in complete control of this football game.
They come out in a 5-wide set. He's tackled at about the 15.
They go for the more aggressive pass route, and it pays off. 9.5 yards here on that first play. Penn State now with 2nd and inches from just inside the 15-yard line. The short pass nets them the first down. Anthony Scott with a 3-yard catch to go with his other 7 At 109 yards and a touchdown, he's been the focal point of the passing attack with a heavy hand to Cole Robinson, the tight end. Probably the two of them have made up the bulk of Penn State's passing attack as they now try to win the football game from the 11-yard line. Bullock gets the ball down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and 5, 21 seconds remaining. You figure Penn State's probably going to line up the kick here. They're going to wait. They're going to wait. Not enough time to come out on the field. You're going to have to call timeout anyway. And Penn State does so with 2 seconds precisely remaining. You expect Michigan State to call all 3 timeouts in succession here. There's the first one. You figure 2 more are coming with 2 seconds left. Michigan State will spend all 3 consecutively. At the college level, you may call consecutive timeouts. At the NFL level, you may not call consecutive timeouts. That is the ball game. Celebration time in Happy Valley. A victory by Penn State. You saw Michigan State use a timeout. They were able to use the ice the kicker perk, which freezes the kicker. It is the ice the kicker on the coaching tree perk tree. And if you do not have your defense at 3 out of 3, you stand a chance of having your kicker iced. If you do not defend the ice the kicker, which is used with an offensive perk. You saw there where Michigan State, quote-unquote, iced the kicker. However, because the ball was so well positioned and because it was such a close field goal attempt, you saw it had no effect on Penn State's kicker. They were able to convert. They were able to escape with the victory, keep their hopes alive of winning the Big Ten East Division. Next week, it all comes down as Maryland attempts to hang on. Michigan takes on Ohio State. That'll be a game in play. And your 18th ranked Penn State Nittany Lions will be closing out the season with an upstart Indiana team having a half-decent year, an unpredictable offensive scheme, a wild card in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State needs to beat Indiana. They need Michigan to beat Ohio State, and they need Maryland to either lose. Well, let's put it this way. If Maryland wins and Michigan loses, then Penn State is out no matter what. As you see there, Maryland having defeated Penn State having defeated Michigan. Maryland wins this week. We already know that they will move to 6-1. And if Michigan loses to Ohio State, then Penn State's game will be irrelevant if Maryland wins their final football game. Maryland can lose and blow the advantage. Michigan can win, Maryland can lose, and Penn State is in. There's a bunch of different scenarios that can happen. It is a tightly run race. It is a well-wound thing. We thank you for joining us. We've got 2 games that are going to decide a lot of things next week. as the Apple Cup between Washington and Washington State, as well as Penn State, Indiana, will decide a lot of things in this college football world. Week 14 packing some heavy action for all of League One. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And we look forward to seeing you next weekend in League One action here on Six Gun Ninja's Twitch channel. Active one, to answer your question on Penn State's losses. One was to User North Texas there in week 4. User trying to rebuild the Eagles of North Texas has gotten them to a 5-5 record despite all odds. A difficult task there at North Texas. The other loss to Maryland when the Terrapins converted 10 of their first 12 third down attempts. Penn State did a valiant effort of playing defense and got themselves to situations that they would like to get into, but Maryland converted one third down after another, whether it was 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 12. They just always seemed to come up with clutch plays. Penn State made an effort at the end of the game, but just wasn't quite able to come back.
That's the last regular season game.
That'll be Penn State's last regular season game against Indiana. If things break their way, if they can survive this 3-horse race in the Big Ten East and play for the Big Ten championship, that'll be the following week after the Indiana game. And regardless of whether or not they qualify for that game, they will have a bowl game of some sort following that particular week. If they qualify for the Big Ten championship and they win the Big Ten, then yes, indeed, they will be playing in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. If they finish 2nd or 3rd in the Big Ten, they will still be playing in marquee bowl games against marquee teams 2 weeks hence. We hope that you will join us for those key late season games as these two teams fight their way to the top of the standings here in Season 9 of League One. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next weekend.